So I hope everyone's doing well and ready for the weekend. So go ahead and get started here. So for those of you who haven't joined before, it's pretty straightforward how this works. There's a Q&A button right beneath me. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and submit them there and I'll answer them in order. Also, if you have something that's more of a conversation, I can unmute your mic and we can have a chat about it. So let's see what you got. All right, this question is from Casey. One of my members needs to change the credit card number they are using for their membership subscription. I found an article on your support page, but my membership account page does not have a link to update account settings. How can I help my member change their payment card? So if your My Account page doesn't have a link for updating the card, then that means that you have changed the default template that MemberMouse ships with. So the My Account page is a standard WordPress page, and by default, when MemberMouse is first installed, if you go to Pages, Show MemberMouse Core Pages, My Account page, when you look at this is the default content that's initially installed. You'll see here that there are a lot of smart tags from MemberMouse that are output as part of the template. So basically, if we scroll down to the subscription section, this smart tag is the one that will output the ability for somebody to update their credit card information. So another thing to note is that you only be able to update credit card if there's actually an active subscription. You know, if somebody just buys something from you, a one-time purchase, there's not going to be any place for you to update the credit card information because there's no active subscription that the credit card is being used for. So if I go ahead and buy a subscription here and and then go to the My Account page, we will see that on the subscription that I just started, I'm able to update billing details, including put in a new card and new billing address. So if this isn't showing up here, then that's either because you aren't including this smart tag in your My Account page template, or the customer is trying to update their credit card doesn't have an active subscription. Yeah, or if somebody didn't pay using an on-site payment method by a credit card on your site, like they used PayPal or some other third-party payment provider, that if they do that, then they'll have to go into PayPal or whoever they paid through to manage their credit card information. So this question is from David. Do you work with Divi theme? Yes, we do work with Divi theme. In fact, we have a Divi layout pack, which provides best practice and default designs for all the MemberMouse core pages. So again, if I share my screen here, yeah, Cindy just put the link in the chat. But if you go to our support center and search for Divi layout pack, you will find this article, and you'll be able to install this, and it will provide default styles for all of the core pages So if I just click on this video here, it will show you everything. This will show you how to set it up. Actually, this isn't what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is this video. So this blog article on membermouse.com shows you all the default templates that ship with our Divi layout pack. So it'll help you create a membership plans page, a member homepage, my account page styling that looks like this. This is what the checkout page will look like, and a bunch of other things. So yeah, we definitely work with Divi, and we have that pack, which gives you a head start. David, when you say RTMP, can you, I'm not sure what that acronym means, so can you expand that question out a little bit more for me to understand? Lee is asking, can you go over having a product with multiple prices? So in MemberMouse, you can't have multiple products you can't have multiple prices for products. Each product in MemberMouse can only have one price. If you're asking about having multiple prices for access, that's a different question, and that is possible, which would be accomplished with if you have so if I go to bundles and I say, okay, I want this single post bundle to have multiple prices that people can pay for this bundle. Currently, you see that they can buy the single post product, which is $1. So if I want to create another price for that bundle, I would create a new product called single post alternate product or whatever. Associated access would be the same bundle that already exists, single post, and the price would be $2. Save that. So now we have two products, single post product for a price of $1, single post alternate product for a price of $2, but both of them give you access to the same bundle. And then that bundle will be used to protect whatever content the person will actually get access to when they have that bundle. This can be used on membership levels as well. So you see here we have an annual pricing for paid membership level A. If I wanted to do, I believe I already have this set up this way. Let me just look. Yeah, so you can see here, I have multiple pricing options for that paid membership level A. There's a one-time purchase of $10, a three-time payments of $10, and $18 every month. And then there was the annual pricing. So there's 4 different ways that people can pay to get access to this membership level. So each product, when you go to create a product, only ever has one price, but that product can give you access to something that already exists, which in effect gives you a way to price the things that people get access to in multiple ways. RMTP video players. So Lee, if you meant multiple prices for membership level, basically what I just demonstrated is how to do multiple pricing per bundle. So it's exactly the same for membership levels. You just create a new product with a new price, and then and then under associated access, instead of specifying that it's a bundle that you want to give access to, you specify that it's a membership level. RMTP RTMP, video players that take video feeds from services such as Streamyard video, etc. So this isn't really a question for MemberMouse. So basically, the answer from a MemberMouse perspective is we will integrate with anybody who has the ability to embed a video on a page, on a web page, which is pretty much going to be all of those people. And the reason being is because MemberMouse integrates with WordPress in such a way that the pages in WordPress, the posts and the pages or the content in WordPress is protected by MemberMouse. So as far as content delivery, working with StreamYard or whoever, you would get an embed code from them, Vimeo, StreamYard, Wistia. You would get an embed code from them so you could put that video on the page in WordPress, and then MemberMouse would protect that page. So only people who had paid for access to that video will get access to it. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, Cindy just posted a link to an article about protecting video content. So how do we compare with MemberPress? So we compare with MemberPress in a lot of different ways. So it would be better if you had a more specific question and something you're looking at. There's a lot of things that MemberMouse does that MemberPress doesn't. MemberPress is, I would say, probably a platform that's more for beginners who aren't actually planning on having a lot of success in terms of number of members. A lot of people use MemberPress and start off there, end up switching to MemberMouse later on when they have a certain scale in their business that brings up certain challenges that they might have at that point. MemberMouse from the beginning has been designed to handle volume and scale. So one of its greatest assets is that, yes, it will work for people who have less than 100 members, but our clients who have been with us for over 5 years have anywhere from 5,000 to 100,000 active members on their site. So a lot of things that come into play with MemberMouse is obviously we cover all the basics. If you want to do a feature comparison between MemberMouse and MemberPress on the basics features, it's either going to be a one-to-one situation, or there's going to be things that we handle that they don't, or they may handle something that we don't. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, the power of MemberMouse is the power to bring flexibility to your business over the long run and help you be successful. If you're running a site that is going to be less than 100 members, what I would recommend is whatever plugin or solution you go with, whether it's MemberPress, MemberMouse, or any other solution, it purely comes down to economics at that point, because you want something that's going to be as price effective as possible for running a small business. If, on the other hand, you're planning on needing something that you can rely on, that gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of strategic value and increasing lifetime customer value. So, for example, starting your business is one thing. When you run your business for 6 months and you've learned things about your customers and you now need to implement new strategies to increase your customer lifetime value, the ability of a tool to support you in doing that and having the flexibility really is what it's about when you're running a business. MemberMouse handles this in spades. You can do things like create upsell paths after people buy particular products, which is a well-known strategy for increasing customer lifetime value. We have an extensive smart tag library, which allows you to have dynamic conversations with your customer, like address them by first name. But more importantly, you have something called decision tags, which without doing any coding, when somebody's in your membership area, you can show them things based on things that they've purchased from you in the past. So you can know dynamically, oh, this person looking at this page right now has already bought this thing, so they would then be interested in this thing. So being able to position things in front of people who are going to be the most likely to buy is a great strategy for increasing your customer lifetime value. There's a lot of automation features built into MemberMouse, which MemberPress doesn't have. For example, one of them is the automated dunning that happens. one of the biggest challenges you have when you're running a subscription business is if your card fails on a subscription, if there's not an automated way to handle when being able to get that customer back online and paying, then you're going to have a manual person on your team handle that process, which costs money, A, but B, is also a lot less successful in terms of converting people back into paying customers. MemberMouse automates this entire process. So with a company who's got thousands of active members actively billing every month, immediately that saves you tons of money, and saving money is just as good as adding profit to your bottom line. So MemberMouse helps you with that. So there's a lot of different things. The way that we run our businesses is completely different. MemberMouse is an enterprise product. We've been on monthly subscription since the beginning, which puts our focus from the very beginning on making sure our current customers are happy and successful. We eat our own dog food. We run membermouse.com and our business on the MemberMouse plugin. So from the very beginning, it's always been about how can we put all of our efforts and focus on a product and make it successful, as opposed to if the business model was a one-time purchase, that puts your focus on getting new sales in all the time. Naturally, it has to. So for us, it's about long-term success. And again, a large part of our client base has been with us for over 5 years, which says a lot. So, I could go on. There's a lot of different reasons which sets us apart from MemberPress. But ultimately, when it comes to software, the choice you make comes down to, and the trade-offs that you accept come down to your specific situation. So that's how I can answer it in a general sense. But we don't take a cut of transaction fees. Nope, there aren't any hidden fees. There's only one monthly price for the product. And if the price is going to be different, it's because you upgrade to a different plan. So, and you only upgrade to another plan in MemberMouse if you need features that are offered on a higher level plan, like our advanced plan has more advanced reporting than the entry level plan, or you've had great success and you need now a license that supports 50,000 members as opposed to the 5,000 members that come on the start, the basic plan. So our pricing is very much designed to give you everything you need for success on the lowest level plan. What you will notice if you look at MemberPress is their plan differentiation has a lot to do with features. So if you buy the lowest plan that they get, then a lot of the stuff that you might need will be in add-ons on higher level plans. So that's something to pay attention to. With MemberMouse, you get everything that you need from the beginning to make your site successful. Also, our customer support is second to none in this industry. So if you do need help, that's there for you. And so hopefully that helps you understand, if you plan to have 10,000 plus members, then yeah, you're going to start, you can still start on the lowest plan and then easily upgrade when you need those members. So that's the whole way that it's designed, is that you start at the lowest thing that you need, and then once you've gotten all those 9,999 members, then you upgrade. You don't need to do it before. Okay. All right, so I got through all the questions so far. Do we have any more questions? This question is from Navya. I would like to know if there is any file storage space limit. If yes, what are the storage limits? So this doesn't have to do with MemberMouse. When you're using MemberMouse, it's a plugin for WordPress, and WordPress is hosted on a hosting provider that you are signed up with, the hosting provider that you work with controls everything about your storage space. So MemberMouse doesn't come into play with that. That's going to be based on the hosting plan that you're set up with your hosting provider. From David, can you divide memberships into directories? Memberships. Are you talking about from a backend perspective, or are you talking about from a user experience perspective? Are you talking about having a member directory as part of your user experience? Or are you talking about from, as an admin of your site, how do you organize? Okay, so from the user perspective, MemberMouse integrates with the WordPress user system. So when, for example, when you saw that I signed up just now for, hold on a second. When you saw recently that I made a purchase, so I filled out the checkout form and everything, and I submit. So behind the scenes, what's happening here is MemberMouse is creating a member with the appropriate access rights based on what is purchased. It's creating an account for them, but that account is built on a WordPress user. So if we look at the member backend here, we go to manage members, we see the new member that just signed up, and we see the email address is that. Now, if we go to the WordPress user system and we click users, we see that that user is also in here. So the reason I'm answering it this way is because we integrate with the WordPress user system, it means that as far as implementing a member directory, there are plenty of WordPress plugins out there that specialize specifically on implementing this functionality, member directory functionality. So you will be able to use any of those plugins that you like to implement a member directory on your site. Does the service allow for separate communities? Yes, in a sense, because you can apply different access. You know, it depends on what you mean by community. You know, what functionality you're expecting. Again, if you're by community, if you mean types of communication, again, this may mean that you are going to need something like BuddyPress or another WordPress plugin to handle that specific functionality. But again, since we integrate with the WordPress user system, you will be able to accomplish that. But in terms of allowing for the separateness, MemberMouse definitely facilitates this because you can allow people to sign up for different membership levels, and you can thereby segment your members in different ways. So again, if we look at my setup here on my dev site, I have a paid membership A and paid membership B. So I can have members sign up for this one or that one. And therefore, because of that, and because of the fact that we have different smart tags and different tools that you can use to present members with a different membership level or different access, a different experience in the back end, that will mean that you can design the experience for the user in ways that make it appear as, you know, make the experience such that people feel like they're part of different segments of your site. Yeah, it's different, exactly. Like communities for different interests, but same price. Yes, you can definitely do that. Again, you know, in that situation, if it's the same community but for different price, but you're just collecting interest, probably what you're interested in is custom fields. So with custom fields in MemberMouse, you can create an unlimited number of custom fields, again, on the lowest level plan. This isn't an advanced feature. So you can use custom fields to collect answer questions about what you're interested in, you know, all the whatever. And these custom fields can have different styles. So they can be checkboxes, drop downs, radio buttons, whatever. You can create different types. If you sign up for MemberMouse already, you'll actually experience this on our site. After you sign up, we ask you some questions about like what's the size of your team, what industry you are, et cetera, because this helps us and our customer success team work with you and help you with the onboarding process as best as possible. So that's how we use it. You can collect custom field data on the checkout form itself, or you can create a totally separate form that's specifically all it's intended to do is collect this custom field data from your customer. Lee is asking, is there a way to direct to different thank you pages based on what product was purchased? Yes. So this in essence is the upsell process. So you can create, when you create pages in MemberMouse, you can say, this is a thank you page, but usually, we call them thank you pages, confirmation pages, upsell pages. They're all synonymous because essentially it's a page that gets displayed after the customer has purchased something. So the benefit of being able to control this is that not only can you tell them thanks for your order and give them information about their order, like the price they paid and all this stuff, but this gives you an opportunity to present them with other products that might be interested in. Oh, and by the way, David, about your earlier question about distinctions between MemberPress, we have the ability to do one-click purchases. So when somebody makes a purchase on the checkout page, if they're using an on-site payment method like Stripe or Braintree that supports card on file functionality, once they've made a single purchase, you send them to an upsell page following that. They can buy something else from you with a single click. They don't have to enter their card in again. It uses card on file. And this is completely secure, PCI compliant. It doesn't put you in a different position of exposure with regard to that because it's all using tokens. It's not actually storing any customer identifiable information in your databases or anything. But the way that you would turn this into an upsell page or a confirmation page, thank you page, is you'd come down to the MemberMouse options, select confirmation, say that this is a page that I want to show to people after they bought something, and then you basically just check off which products, when purchased, should be shown this page. So you just check off whichever number of these after being purchased should be shown this page, and then you click publish. I'm not going to click publish, but you click publish, and as soon as you've done that, now when anybody purchases any of those products, they'll be shown this page after that purchase. Different David. David saying, I'm enjoying the plugin. At the beginning, I was a bit nervous because my hosting provider is WordPress.com, and I found out that you guys don't recommend that hosting provider, although it is working okay so far. Great. I'm glad to hear that, David. Glad it's working out for you. Other David. On member signup, can we implement actual signature for new customers, kind of like what DocuSign does? So you want people to have to physically sign the screen, like draw out their signature in some way? I mean, MemberMouse itself isn't going to support, like, we don't have the functionality to do that, but if there is a WordPress plugin that does that, you can definitely integrate it. I mean, with us, what we support is, like, you can create a custom field that's a checkbox if you need somebody to say, I agree to these terms, and you can do it like, actually, you could do it with MemberMouse if it was acceptable that the signature was, and I've seen this, I've filled out forms like this, where the signature is like a checkbox, I agree to all the terms above, and then they have to type in their initials and type in their name. You could definitely accomplish that. If you wanted to do something more sophisticated, you would need to use a third-party plugin. I'm not sure how, if there are any plugins out there like that, but you would have to use something like that. But in the way that I describe, you can do it with custom fields really easily. And just to show you a little bit more how that works, you basically just create a custom field called agreement signature, whatever you want to call it. And you would click, make sure don't show this on the My Account page, because if you show it on the My Account page, the user will see it behind the scenes and they'll be able to modify it later, which you don't want in this case, because you want them to be able to fill it out at the time you ask for it, but you don't want them to be able to change it later. So you'd keep that unchecked. And then it's the type of field it is short text. So then now we have this short text agreement signature. You copy this smart tag, and then we go to our checkout page. It doesn't have to be on the checkout page. Like I said, you can do this on a form where you just collect collect other information, but just for the sake of time and ease, I'm just going to show you. So if I want them to fill out their signature here, I'll just paste that thing that I just copied in, save that, go to the checkout page to buy something, and you'll see here that the signature field is there. I can type in my name. And there's ways to make this required or not required through the tag that I just pasted in. But once I've entered that in, if we go to the account that was just created, manage members, click on that new account and go to custom fields tab, you'll see that the agreement signature is there and has the text that was entered. So that's basically how custom fields work. You can always see the data entered by the user from the custom fields tag in the member details area for a particular member's account. Can the signature be in a script font to make it look like handwriting? Yeah, probably. But again, that's not a MemberMouse thing. That's a stylistic thing. So your designer would do that using CSS or whatever. Like as you're looking at, like my site looks horrible. This is my development environment. So I don't pay attention to any of the stylistic things that you'd want to pay attention to, right? But from a stylistic standpoint, the designer could create CSS such that this field looks exactly what font you want it to. For example, if you go to our demo site, demo.membermouse.com, and make a purchase, this is what like a checkout form would look like, well designed. It's exactly functionally the same as what I'm doing in my dev environment, but how MemberMouse looks is all about the theme, right? So we're the engine of the car. We're not the body. So we don't have any. We don't either dictate anything as far as themes or styling, and we don't keep you from doing anything with regards to styling. So it's very flexible in that regard. Why does my camera keep switching off? Anyway. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're at the end of time here. I appreciate all the questions that you guys asked. Hope this was helpful. And yeah, if you have any further questions, feel free to come back next week for office hours. Or email our support team at support@membermouse.com. David, you're asking about controls. So we have a limit pages the members can see. There are many controls for that. And being that this is the end of the session, I'll show you one, but there are many different, there are many ways you can protect content. In fact, Cindy, if you can just paste that article into there, which will show you all the different ways you can protect content. But the most basic one is just on a page-by-page basis. It's really easy. You just go, if you're going to add a new page, you have the MemberMouse options box, you click grant access, you specify how you want to grant access by, membership level or bundle, and then you specify which membership grant access. You could do it on a particular day. So in this case, I'm saying paid membership B gets access to this post on day 0. And then I can keep going. I can say, okay, well, paid membership A gets access to this on day 7, whatever. And you can keep going as much as you need. As soon as I've protected this page with one thing, it's no longer publicly accessible. So again, that's just one way you can protect content with MemberMouse. There's at least 4 or 5 different ways, depending on the circumstance. So, and the article that Cindy just put in, we'll go over the different ways. So yeah, and that's it. Thanks everyone for joining, and I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. All right, bye. You're welcome, David.